Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we have the amazingly talented
Robyn Cheynne! Oh my God, yeah!
So welcome, folks. Kick back, relax. We're going to have a long chat. But first, we're going to play some music. This is Who Am I? Boom.
Smoked a pack of cigarettes today. I'm home, but I'm not really here. The sexy side of phases clouding my true feelings. Sitting under my kitchen table as if it were the last pathetic hideaway. Vision is lost. I strike my mind, misleading my heart, soul intertwined.
Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and it is the end of the week, kind of, sort of. Normally I have a day off tomorrow, but there's a quiz happening, so I will be kind of, sort of working. Yeah, it is Friday here in Australia, Thursday for the rest of you, and it's that time of the week where we have an amazing artist on the show, and we got some really, really cool ones coming up over the next, shall I say 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Who knows? I don't know what's happening exactly over Christmas. So that indeed was this song, Who Am I, by our amazing guest, Robyn Cheynne, today. So, how did I come across Robyn? I think the first time I saw Robyn was on a little show called Camp Gmay, a channel called Camp Gmay. Gary May, who's been on this program before. I interviewed him a while ago, and he is one of the most unique and beautiful, kind, talented artists I've come across this year. And yeah, I think I came across Robyn's music on his show, and she was performing live, playing some guitar on there, and it made me go down the rabbit hole and then subscribe to her channel. So you may not have heard of her, but now today you will hear plenty about her. And I think what it was that drew me to her music was that, like you guys know, I'm a sucker for songs that have struggle and have real emotion, and you can hear somebody is leaving their heart on the table. Yeah, that's what music's about to me. It's probably why I don't like dance music that much, because there's not much left on the table except a beat. That's it. But so that's what drew me to her music, and why I wanted to have her on the show and share her music and her story with you, because our stories need to be heard. So, without further ado, I am going to now introduce you to the amazingly talented, if I got everything working here, and thankfully she's come on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Robyn Cheynne. Boom! Hello, my dear. How are you?
Hi, Jade. How are you today?
Good. We're here. We've made it. We've done it. We're on the internet.
Yeah. Finally made it.
We're on television. That's how I look at it. So tell me a little bit about that song that we just... Oh, before I ask you this question, everybody, if you are a Wart Warrior in the chat, if you pay for $1 a month to join the members here, you'll notice there's 2 emojis of Robyn that you can put in the chat today. Yeah, you know what, Robyn?
I have 2?
You haven't made it unless you've got an emoji, right? Who needs hit singles? As soon as you're an emoji, goodbye, Kanye. It's all over. I've got an emoji. It's done.
I love emojis. I use them all the time. I'm a fanatic.
So tell us a little bit about this. Who am I? How did the song come about, and this video clip? How did you put all this together?
Well, originally the song lyrics, as you just mentioned, songs are born from emotion, mostly from me anyways. And who am I? I think that was a struggle. I was going through one of those down periods that we have periodically. Mine tend to last, I don't know, it's different every time. But I think I was struggling with what direction I wanted to take my life in at that age. So I wrote it out, and the guy that you see in the video is actually my cousin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask that. I'm like, was there a whole band there, and you just like thought they're all too ugly to be in the clip?
No, actually, he's the one that does all of the instruments, because he is highly talented. He reminds me of another Phil Collins, where he can play the drums, he can play the bass, he can play the keyboard, you name it, banjo, guitar, lead guitar. He can sing backups, lead, everything. So
a very handy person to have in your life.
especially being family.
Yeah.
But that could be good or bad sometimes, you know.
We'll definitely talk about family because I know that it's very important. Are they a very important part of your life? So, especially around music, I know that. So, did you record this song like in a studio, or because it's a really well recorded song, really well written song?
It was recorded in studio. We wrote it together. I had the lyrics kind of hanging around, and we were practicing one day, and he asked about it, and he just started playing around on the guitar, and I started singing, and we just kind of created it together, co-written all the way through. Well, the lyrics I wrote, like I said, but for the melody and the chords, we came up with that together. We found the chorus, and since he's so talented, it was very easy for him to find the chords to match the vocals that I was going for. And we sat, and since we used to call each other kind of like twin spirits, because when it comes to creating and emotions and stuff like that, we're a lot alike. So it was very easy to write it together. We both understood where we were going with it. And the video was created and recorded, in fact, for a competition. We entered a song competition in Canada. And it was called the CBC Searchlight competition. And it was national competition. And they chose 10 songs per province, and we ended up in the top 10 in Quebec. We didn't make it all the way through, but we were very satisfied with how far we got, because people still got to hear our song.
The winners always suck anyway. Look at Idol and stuff like that. It's always like the top 5 who are the ones who everyone likes, and the winners always never succeeds. They never do. Like, unless they're pushed to the moon or whatever. Band competitions are sucky, aren't they? It's all these days anyway, because it's not even about like if you're good enough, it's how many people you can bring. It's disgusting.
Basically, yeah. Well, it was a songwriting competition, and I just said, why not? At that point in my life, I was questioning, who am I? So I was looking for something to do, and I found that Searchlight competition, and I just asked him if he was interested, and he said, sure, let's do a song together and get it out there. And I think we did that video within 3 days, because it was a rush. The deadline was probably a week when I discovered the competition. So it was a very fast recording.
You did a bang up job. It was the first song I heard after seeing you perform live, just with a guitar. So it was just hearing you sing and play that got me interested. And then I saw that, I'm like, holy hell, what's going on? Wow, awesome, awesome, awesome. So I've had you on my radar for a while. I'm going to hit you with the first 4 questions that I normally bang everybody with now. And we'll say hello to everybody in the chat. Want to thank you all for being here as well. But you know the deal. You know the deal. I normally say hello to you in about 15 minutes time after we play our second song. So let's do the standard bog questions that we normally do on the show. Robyn, what does music mean to you?
It's a very deep question. What does it mean to me? It means mainly emotion. It's always about emotion and mixed with experiences. Every time, they always say, I've heard people say, never date a musician or a singer songwriter, because if something goes wrong, you'll end up in a song one day. And that's basically how it works. Yeah. But I don't name people. People, you don't have to worry.
My ex-wife is pissed off that I never wrote a song for her when we were married. And it was like, we're just not interesting enough, sorry. and then when she walked out, she got about 5 songs.
Let's see how it works.
It is what it is.
But it's also healing, right? So I'm a strong believer in when we were little, it was not allowed to show your emotion, so you had to basically shove it under the rug, and that brings for a lot of pent up stuff when you become an adult. And so now I use music as a release, but also give myself a chance to feel what emotion comes up, because I believe that if we hold it in too long, we don't allow ourselves that time to feel whatever emotion is there, whether it's sadness, whether it's grief, whether it's even joy. I notice that people tend to just, oh, it's joyful, and then move on to the next event or whatever, or subject right away. And I'm like, no, wait, let's stop and feel this for a sec, and then it's easier for me to release it after that if it's a less pleasant emotion, anyways. So
it is better out than in. Any doctor will tell you that. Even a sexual partner will tell you that sometimes. But you touched on something there that's really important, because we are living in a world where everything's so fast.
So fast.
And your attention, we need your attention here and here and here so quickly that by the time you get something out, it's gone in an instant, and you've got to jump on it. You're like releasing a song, even like so many people release songs and then they're gone. And almost like the music industry these days is, if you don't put all this effort into this song in the first 3 days, you've missed your opportunity. You're done. You're at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, and you don't have time to process anything, I find, when it's so fast like that.
And we wonder why there's so much anxiety going on in the world.
Yeah, I believe that too. Absolutely. I moved, like when I came back to YouTube, that's basically the first thing I noticed. I was like, wow, we're on one subject, we're on the next subject, we're on the next subject. And it's almost like flashcards just bombarding your mind with images constantly. And I don't keep up with people online. I'm so slow because I take time to process and stay in my bubble. And
you got to do what makes you happy. That's the most important thing. Do you, as a kid, do you remember the music that was played in your household growing up, like on the radio and around the family? Who are some of these artists you could remember mum and dad playing?
I do. My mom's actually a folk singer.
Nice.
And she plays a 12-string guitar. And my earliest memories were before school. I grew up out in the country, so we had a wood stove and a fireplace. And in the mornings before school, she would sit in front of the fireplace. It was just like a picture perfect, it's just like a Hallmark card or something. And she would sing me songs in the morning before school.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. So my parents basically complement each other with two completely different styles. Dad was like this hippie guy. He looked a lot like Chong. He had the full hair and the full beard, and he was a drummer in kind of a rock band, well, considered rock back then. And he used to listen to on vinyl around the house was the Rolling Stones, George Thorogood, the Beatles, even Jim Croce. That's not really rock, but it's one of the more memorable songs that I would hear around the house a lot. The Animals. Mom was more into like the Carpenters, Carly Simon, things like that.
So did any of their musical taste influence your direction in music?
I think so. I think we can't help but be influenced by what we grow up around. We then kind of evolve into who we are as people afterwards, taking a little bit of what we've learned or what we've been influenced by or heard growing up. I strongly believe that. Yeah, absolutely. I have a bit of folk. Some people say my music sounds a little country, the softer ones. And when I don't have to play the guitar, I can rock out. I love rocking out.
Well, I've seen videos of you playing with a band without a guitar. So I've seen you singing. Like, is that are you still in a band? Because that was fairly recent. Was recent one of the videos that I thought I saw or not?
The video that was done in 2015, so it's quite a while ago.
Right.
The Who Am I one. I never really had an official band. It was where I was living then. All the musicians are all collaborating on like jobs, I guess. You know, you have a guitarist that's going to play with that band one day, and then he's going to play with another band another day. We're all friends. So, you know, my phone would ring, and one of my other friends would say, "Hey, I need a backup singer for this show. Would you be available to come over and learn the songs and participate?" And I'd say, "Yeah, sure." So I never really got into a full band situation. That's something I wish I had, actually. I haven't had that experience. But so for recording and performances and live performances and stuff, yes, I did have a band that were willing to come up and play.
I love how you're talking like, you know, I wish I had it. It's all too late now. What the hell? What the hell? If only I had more time, I could have a band. Good grief. There's plenty of time. If I'm still here at this ridiculous age, there's plenty of time for everybody. So do you recall the
Older
first...
than you think.
Well, you know, we'll find out. We'll find out now by this question. What was the first album you purchased and was given to you as a gift?
First album I purchased
With your own money, with your own money.
Oh, now I have to reveal what I was into in the 80s.
It's my favorite part of the show.
All right. U2 was the first album I purchased for myself.
That's pretty good.
First, yeah, I love U2.
What's wrong with that?
No. Well, I'm not done yet. Well, U2 was my first album I purchased. That was a lot of fun. First cassette I owned that was purchased for me was Bryan Adams.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to listen to that on a little Walkman.
Was it a single or an?
No, well, I had singles too, but the first one was Reckless. It was the album Reckless that I was given. I opened that and I think I screamed. I was like, "Yeah!"
Did you have posters of him on your wall?
No, that was I had a phase, you know, where
just one.
I'm not. Oh well, I listened to New Kids on the Block for a little while, so that's why I was like, "Oh my god!" I tripped on them for a while. That was so much fun, you know, a little girl.
Hey, an Audible video wrote. Well, at least it wasn't Milli Vanilli, so that's okay.
I think I ended up getting that one for Christmas at some point. Anyways, Milli Vanilli. I love Cyndi Lauper a lot too.
Oh hell yeah!
I think that was probably one of the first times I ever really sang, was pretending I was, because in our living room we had a little step up, and I used to stand there, put on the album, and then dance and sing like Cyndi Lauper. Never had a video camera, so we're out of luck.
She has always been groundbreaking. I remember when she first broke in, because I'm a wrestling fan. She was in WWE back when it was WWF. I mean, she was at WrestleMania. She's just always been innovative. And the other thing that's really cool about Cyndi Lauper is she speaks out against hate, and I just love that. She doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks, and she's. You know, she takes the responsibility of being an artist and runs with it and uses it for the greater of the good of other people, which is fantastic.
That's what I loved about her too, because she's, you know, she had the pink hair, and you know, she just rocked out, and she didn't care what people thought about her. She just did her thing, and she was able to be herself, and I just thought it was absolutely amazing. Yeah. Loved her, and she can sing. She can sing, that girl.
Yeah, and I think she got better with age. Honestly, like hearing her do mellow versions of Time After Time, and to just a piano and stuff is just. It's goosebump inducing stuff. That's what you want from music, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this is our fourth question in the list, and then we'll play a song and get back to say hello to everybody. School.
Oh.
So did you get forced to learn the recorder? Did you have lessons at school? Was there anything that you picked up in primary school or high school? What was your musical background in school? Was there an opportunity to do that in school for you?
In elementary school, like we don't have anything like junior high, and we just have primary school and secondary school.
Yep, same
and then
here.
And then you go to college after that.
Same here in Australia.
Oh, cool. So in primary school, no, we didn't have that. We had drama in primary school. In high school, we took music. The first thing that everybody needs to learn is actually the clarinet.
Wow, clarinet.
Yeah. And I remember learning the clarinet and learning how to read notes and everything. And there was only 2 saxophones. The guitars were taken already. So we had access to drums, all of the brass instruments mainly. And I saw that saxophone and I thought, I want that. But there was, there's like 20 kids in the class. And there were so many people that wanted it too, right? And so we had to do a little competition with the clarinet in order to see who had learned the clarinet.
Showdown.
Yeah, it was a showdown. Thank you for giving me the term. Yeah, it was a showdown. But the worst part is that the showdown ended up being between me and my best friend.
Oh no, drama.
Yes.
No.
Drama. Try to be a good sport when that happens. Oh Lord. And at that age we were probably about 13. Oh Lordy.
Are you still friends now?
Yes, we are.
All right. So we got through it.
She got over it because I won.
You won, yes.
So I was able to take the saxophone home. But
do you still play the saxophone? Was it something that you took further?
I wanted to take it further. Unfortunately, when I was younger, the way we grew up, it was my parents couldn't afford to buy one of those at the time, and the school wasn't willing to part with it. They tried to get a deal to surprise me with the school. They tried calling the school and having them sell it at a good price to them, but the school didn't want to part with it because they have limited instruments to begin with. So
I was going to say that's a really it's an interesting choice. Even a clarinet and a saxophone, they're expensive instruments for kids to pick up. Where the recorder's like $10, so it's easy, and it's the gateway drug to the saxophone, I guess you could say.
I ended up getting a recorder for Christmas, so let me just say, my room was decorated with saxophones when I came home from vacation, but I ended up with a recorder for Christmas.
No, bump, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, how did you end up picking up a guitar?
I was 15 years old, and I was singing. That's how I ended up picking up the guitar, because I've never claimed to be a guitarist. I'll tell everybody that all the time. I'm not a guitarist. Don't claim to be. I'm a singer-songwriter. And that's important to remember, because I don't think that I merit the title to be considered a guitarist, because I don't put the hours in as much as I should, basically, For singing, I just wanted to write my songs. I wrote poetry, so I ended up singing my poetry, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have some musical background in it, right? And so I grabbed my mother's guitar and I just started learning the chord chart, and that's how I started.
It's interesting to hear that because, like, what is a guitarist really? Is it somebody who can sit there and noodle and jam and play solos? Is it Yngwie Malmsteen or like these guitar shredders? Is it somebody who can just play along to their vocals? I mean, I don't think there is a standard to say that you are a guitarist, especially for singer-songwriters like myself and you and many others. You don't really have to be some flamenco expert you just need to accompany that voice and play solidly. It's about,
That's a good point.
if you can hold rhythm to, that's the harder thing. Like you think about, you say you're not a guitarist, but like actually playing and singing is a skill in itself. So many people struggle with it when they're first starting out. Was that natural for you to be able to just play and accentuate your singing?
The first 3 chords that I learned was I say obviously, but I shouldn't even say that. So you make a good point about the guitarist thing, because I think it's about perception too. My perception of I guess I just don't see myself as a well-skilled guitar player. I guess I just see myself as a rhythmist, strummer type acoustic style.
As just a rhythmist. How many great bands would be nothing without that rhythm behind them, though? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I don't mean to offend anybody. Please don't get offended. That's not what I mean. The 3 chords I learned were G, C, and D, and
the most important,
right? And I love those minor chords. I got into the E minors and A minors and D minors and all of that. And I found that it had such an interesting, mysterious sound, and it kind of goes along with my emotional songs. So those were the chords that I learned first.
I'm going to play a song now, and you're going to tell me a little bit about it. Then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about vocals. So this is a song you sent me that is private on your channel. So you slapped this together for me, which is very kind of you. So this is called Beware. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this song before I play it?
So the song Beware is about someone. It is about someone or people who have kind of a dark presence, like an outlook on life where they tend to just, this person in particular, I would say, was just completely very, very negative towards me, and very, very mean, and very, I don't know, it just made me feel like he had some darkness in him, but not a creative kind of darkness. I mean, like something vindictive and hurtful, and just wanted to go out and hurt people, And so it's basically about recognizing sinister people and finding a way around, just recognizing and keep moving on and living your life and stay positive. And
absolutely.
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's play it, folks. Chill your beans, grab a coffee, grab a beverage, whatever it is that floats your boat, and we're going to play this song. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy. This is called Beware. Boom. Indeed, hippie.
Sleeping in my life, but I've been hearing all your cries. I see shadows in the night. I've been dreaming of your eyes. There's a way to be told of the darkness of the soul.
That was beautiful, dark, and just haunting, really lovely stuff.
Haunting. That's what I was going for.
Yep,
Yay.
you nailed it. You nailed it. Beautiful stuff. Let's say hello to everybody, then we'll continue on. So thanks everyone for being here. Let's do the greetings. Hello, Brad Example. So type something in the chat so I can capture you all, guys. Lou Reality's here. SM Borthwick. We've got Conspiracy Music. Joe Glenn. Mamsie Graham. Zach Thong. Who else do I see? Russ 8889. Ian's Guitar Shack. Kim Harden Hudson. Ashinator 91. Who else do I see who's here? We've got, I saw Gregory O'Sullivan. Tremor Bear, hello to you. We've got Audible Video. I'm trying to get everybody's comments as they're going by. I saw a few other people. Guafinator, I think it was as well. Did I say that right? It's not in front of me. Just type something, anything in the chat. Call me a dickhead just so I can see your name. You know, it doesn't matter, guys. Just put something in there so I don't have to scroll up. Don't make me work hard. It's Darren Anderson. I see you too. I hate working hard. It's the end of the week. Who else do I see here? Guava Ball. That's how I say your name. Guava Ball. God.
Hi, Guava.
My brain is shit. How do I say? I think I got this last time. Kuzaika. Did I get that right? Kuzaika. I gave it a go. I'm an Australian. I saw Pete Johns here as well. Hello, Pete. Pete's got a show coming up straight after this, which I will dump you over. And let's get back into it, shall we? Because time is short. So, what made you want to sing? Did you have a hairbrush?
Yes, absolutely. You can't go without the hairbrush.
We all had a hairbrush.
We needed one of those round ones, but I didn't have one of those.
Mine had a name. It was Mike. Get it? Well, it wasn't good for my hair, but anyway, it looked good when I sung into it.
Yeah.
So what was it? When did you start singing? Were you a bedroom singer? How did that progress?
I've sang a lot in the bedroom, yeah, absolutely. I was singing from when I can remember. I think I just never sang in front of people until I was 15. So I was always singing along with my mom. I was around music all the time. So Dad was a drummer in his band and used to take me to the recording studio. And I remember that back then they had an actual light bulb, a red light bulb above the door when they were recording, and you could see my dad through the glass, and I had to be quiet. So, that was tough for me because I talk a lot. So when the red light was on, I had to be quiet. Otherwise I had to leave. So yeah, absolutely. I was singing from, I think, the age of 3, 4, 5 and on up with my mom, because she's the one that played the guitar around the house.
So you've got a very musical family. Was it did you have sing-alongs in the house? Were there campfire moments? Was it, I'm thinking, I don't know, was Christmas one of these big sing-along things? How often did you all sing and do this kind of stuff? Was it a regular thing or was it a struggle?
It was maybe not a regular thing to get together with the whole family, but we definitely had those family get-togethers where in the summer when we had barbecues or campfires, and we'd usually gather around my tante Cecile. She had the house, like a bigger house for it, so we would sit around in the living room, and there was every instrument you can think of, like even they were even playing the spoons. That's the kind of family I had. There's tambourines, there's, anything to use for percussion, and several guitars, violins. My grandfather played the violin, and there was banjo, Now I can't think of them. Now that I'm on your show, I can't think of them all. But
See,
yeah,
I'm often jealous of this kind of stuff, hearing people grow up in households that played music, because I didn't really have that. But then at the same time, did you feel like there was a pressure for you to be up to snuff with all of these people around you in your life who were super talented, and like, is pressure to be as good?
No, I'm lucky in that regard. Like I never had any kind of pressure from my parents except to go get a real job at some point.
What about
But
what about pressure you would put on yourself?
that's different, absolutely. I mean, you heard me talk earlier about not being a guitarist, so that's it right there. I'm very hard on myself. I think I don't know if a lot of people are. The people that I know who perform oftentimes are very, very difficult, are their worst critics, I suppose. Either the sound isn't just the way they want it, or they have this little sniffle, it doesn't sound right, or there's always some reason that I've heard other people say. For myself, I think I feel guilty at my age that there were months at a time where I didn't pick up the guitar when I should have, or I didn't practice when I should have. And I think that's where I end up being a little bit hard on myself, because time passed. Time doesn't wait for anyone. So I think that's where it comes in.
As a singer, I'll just say hi, Dom, who's joined. I don't know if I said hi to Leela. Hello, Leela. But as a singer too, what's interesting, is that we are the instrument. So, you say there were times when you didn't sing, and you can't always sing. I think sometimes people forget that too. When it's like a comedian, I've done comedy work, played at comedy festivals myself, know a lot of comedians, and you meet somebody who knows you do comedy, and the first thing they say to you is, "Tell us a joke." And it's
Make me laugh.
It's like, it doesn't work like that, dickhead. I'm not your dancing clown. Like, the jokes just don't come out, man. It's a completely scripted thing that takes time to write these shows, and then you take them on tour and perform them. It's like being in a band. And if you're feeling sick, or you're not feeling well, or you're feeling down, you just can't pull out a fucking joke and entertain people. It's the same as singing. We're living instruments and our emotions control our voice and how often we want to do it, even. You know? So with your singing, did you have any vocal lessons or anything like that to help with your control or anything?
I did take a few lessons. However, I didn't. I didn't take them for a very, very long time. So I do know some techniques, but again, could have gone further in the lessons and didn't. They're very costly where we live as well. So I think that was one of the reasons growing up. Later on, when I was old enough to make my own money, I think my responsibility, I did some traveling, and I was just into other things, and more concentrating on going out and playing the live gigs rather than I was working like 3 or 4 jobs, I think, at the time. So I didn't really find a lot of time for the pampering myself with I call it pampering because I think that that's something that I would love to continue, or I would have loved to have continued back then. But so to me, it was a treat to go and take those lessons,
Do you think it's safe to say you can take all the lessons in the world, but there's nothing like getting out there on the beat and actually singing in front of three people in a pub who are yelling out, "We don't care. I can't hear the music. Oh, I can't hear the horse racing out the back because of your vocals." There's nothing more grounding than actually paying the dues. That's what they used to call it.
I love busking. I don't know. Do you like busking? I love busking.
I love it too. I was a busker for about 5-6 years solid. Best time in my life musically. Absolutely. The most money I've ever made as a musician. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's sad, but it's also a huge compliment and rewarding to meet people in the street. And you get to meet so many different kinds of people when you're busking, and you can tell that they really appreciate it when they come up and drop that coin or that bill or whatever. You can see it on their faces, and if they come back, sometimes people leave for a little while and then they bring their friend or whatever, and they come on back. So
it's interesting how you say that, because like the difference, somebody goes to a gig and they go out to a club or they come to see someone, they pay their money, they're expecting you to perform, monkey. But and if you can't grab them, like it's kind of a bit soul destroying, because they've come to pay and be entertained. But when you're on the street, people are walking to places. They've got things on their mind. They're heading to the doctor. They're going shopping. They're doing the life thing. And if they stop and give you a moment,
it's like, whoa.
It's really hard to explain, isn't it? Because and then they put money in, I love this question. I'm not trying to like have a big up or a competition, because everyone's got one of these. What's the largest amount of money somebody gave you for busking?
That's a loaded question.
Because it's not always money that people give you. You get some weird things when you're busking. I've been given food.
Really?
People give you some strange shit.
Well, luckily I didn't have anything too weird that dropped in my my guitar case.
No condoms.
No, thank God. I don't know what I would have done with that. I think I probably would have been completely distracted from the song or something. It would have thrown me off.
All right. What's the weirdest thing somebody put in your case then?
Well, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing, but it would be like just like phone number and address or something.
That's a thing too. Like being a female out busking too brings in a completely different kind of crowd as well, because you've got to take into account, not only do you get the passers-by who are heading to life, but you get the drunks on their way somewhere who are like, hey, look, there's I see tits over there. They're going to want to know me. Yeah. And the people who want to come over and say, can I play a song on your guitar? It's like, fuck off. You're not touching my guitar, bitch.
One person, because a lot of the times I would bring a small amp, so I would have my mic with me. And I think the only time that I ever really got annoyed or upset, or it was when this lady came up and she thought, I don't know what she was thinking, but she thought it was all right to come up and just grab the microphone and start singing the song for me, because she wanted to sing it instead of me while I was playing the guitar.
Oh, man.
She didn't come up to me. Yeah. And I was just about ready to, my guitar almost landed on the ground. But that was shocking. That was the most shocking. So I didn't have anything that was too weird that was dropped into my guitar case. But in terms of behavior, that was the biggest moment I think I can remember that was shocking to me. That she, other than the people that were, like you said, screaming out from far away. Look, there's a chick singing. Yeah.
Show us your tits. Oh, that kind of stuff. Look.
You hear everything.
I wish more people could experience busking, because, I think it's got a weird kind of connotation about it. It's like, busking, like, out in the street, like that's nothing. Like, and to see some of the money you can make from busking blows a lot of people's mind. I mean, it's a filthy job too, because you're out in the street. Everything gets dirty. You've got to count the money at the end, and then you're covered in dirt because money is filthy, and you don't know who's been handling it. And there's so much it's a very complex job to do. Plus, I think if you're an artist who's struggling with getting ready to perform, hitting the street will grow hairs on your chest. It'll build up calluses on your whole mind. You know what I mean?
It toughened me up. I'll tell you that, because when I started singing in public, I was 18. In a local pub, there was a man that I know that recently passed away, unfortunately, maybe just a month ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. He was the first person that gave me a chance to sing in public at his establishment. It was kind of like a resto pub. We call them bistros, les bistrots. So I was so shy. When he found out that I sang and I played the guitar a little bit at that time, I was still shaky with it. He ran out into the dans l'entrepôt is the storage room, and he pulled out all of his equipment and he said, "Okay, bring your guitar. We're going to plug you in. Sit down, sing during supper." And I was like mortified. No, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, you can't make me. And back then I used to sing a lot like Sarah McLachlan. I was singing very, very soft and very timid. And he just kept inviting me back over and over and over again. That became my second home. So if I wasn't out in a major city somewhere, I would come home and he would say, "Come on over, let's do a party and we'll plug you in." And so I kind of gained a little bit of confidence with him there. And he kind of helped me grow and evolve as a singer. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have evolved, I think, as much or as fast, I guess.
So playing gigs with a band and all of that, do you remember what your first gig was? Where it was, and how were people's reaction? Did you have to play over a bunch of ignoramuses talking over the top of you?
Yeah, you couldn't get any more ignoramus than high school.
All right. Well, there you go. See, I thought high school was easier than playing gigs, because at least at high school, like they have to be there to learn. Where gigs, people pay and they expect more from you. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, my first gig was in the resto pub that I just mentioned.
Yep.
And before that, it was in the auditorium at our high school. We had a talent show. It was more like a carnival. So I played the guitar and I sang the first time in front of everybody, and I was a nervous wreck, but I got through it. And then after that, the first gig was in front of a paid gig. You can totally call me out if I don't answer your question right away, because I tend to lose track. I get off into my own world and thinking, and then my story, and then I'm like, wait a minute, did I answer it?
It's your time.
I don't even know.
It's your time, Robyn. I'm just here to make you shine, my friend. So you do whatever the hell you want. It's your show.
So what was the question again? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
First paid gig. I was kind of lucky with the paid gigs because we ended up doing small, quaint concerts where people bought their tickets in advance and they would show up, and so they kind of knew my style already before they came, so they knew what kind of songs I'd be singing, and it was broadcasted on the local radio station too.
Yep.
So that was fun. And I think the one that stood out to me for any hecklers, it was the one that's on my YouTube channel when we did a concert in
is that the guy
in
at the start?
Montreal.
Is that the guy at the start who's like yelling this madness?
It was, you heard her? Yeah, it was a lady that had been there all day drinking, I guess. And
that was a lady?
I
thought it was a dude.
No, it was a lady. And I remember her. I remember her because I was from the bar walking up to the stage when they called my name, because I wasn't the only band that played that night. I was the last one up, and our band was the last one up. And she just started wailing, and she almost grabbed my arm as I was walking by to get to the stage. And one of the,
Oh God!
I think the guitarist had to kind of shelter me and kind of get me through that.
Hang
But
on, I've got it here. Hang on. Is this it? This is the full Montreal
yeah,
show?
you could totally hear her screaming, and I
it's-
was trying so hard not to be for it not to make me lose concentration.
Is this? I'm sure it's at the start here.
Yeah, it's at the start.
We'll play it for
I'll tell you what she was saying after.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of just as you start singing too, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was a guy, honestly.
No. She's
Oh,
it gets worse.
oh no, I know. Yeah, I remember hearing it and going, "What the hell? Who's that idiot?" Yep. Jesus.
See, I didn't know what to do.
You're just like, kill her.
I'm like, what? Where's the bouncer?
Gee.
It actually threw me off a little.
Yeah, I could see. She sounded like a wild animal.
That's what she looked like, too. It's true.
Get back
Sorry.
in your cage, you bitch. Well, let's just let this play. I'm just going to put us on mute and we'll let this play. You know, I have no plans. Let's just do it.
Okay.
Each day you seem to
Now that's how you recover from a drunken imbecile at a gig, right there. That is how you do it. That is absolutely how you do it. Well done.
That brings back memories. That was so much fun. That lady came right up to the stage. If you saw me at one point, I looked down and I kind of went like this because the bouncer grabbed her and just went and just yanked her. She was about to climb up on trying to climb up on stage and grab the mic from me again. Oh no, you don't do that to Robyn Cheynne.
Nothing worse. What is up with people who think that's appropriate? I did a gig early this year and it was an outdoor gig, and before the show started, everyone's gear was up on stage. I was sitting out in the crowd and this big Maori guy just got up on stage and tried to grab my guitar and start playing it. And I'm like,
I don't get that. I don't. But I'll tell you one thing, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's like, you want to see Robyn Cheynne pissed off, that pisses me off. For anybody. Don't
touch my guitar, motherfucker.
Don't you know boundaries?
Yeah, exactly. You can come and get in my face. I could give a shit. Don't touch my guitar. That's my money maker.
Oh no, I don't want people in my face either.
Yeah, as I was saying it, I was like, hang on a minute. There's some people out there. Jesus.
You know what she was saying though? She was saying, God's gonna see you. God's gonna free your mind. God's gonna see you. He sees everything. Y'all are going to purgatory. Y'all are going to hell. Oh my God, she was screaming all of that out. And I don't know what she was tripping on, but she was tripping on something for sure.
Wrong venue. I mean, she needs to be on a street corner somewhere in Detroit, yelling her madness. All right, so let's talk about songwriting, and so we covered experiences live and stuff. I want to know how, like, where I came across you was on Camp G-May. How did you come across G-May?
How did I come across G-May? In fact, it was conspiracy music.
All right, he's here too. Hello, Conspiracy.
Yeah, hi, Conspiracy. Yeah, he's the one who introduced me to the open mic night on Saturday, and he said, "Hey, he introduced me to the Metalhead Hippie, and that's how I basically found everyone. I just ended up hopping from one channel to the next, and yeah, G-May. He said, if you want to come on over to sing on a Saturday, he said, come and check it out. So I did,
and before
I
long,
didn't go up right away.
Before long, you're a part of his pimping business, his song pimping business that he has on YouTube.
I don't know, nobody put me out. No. Robyn's a free bird.
He's been on this show, you know, and I've told my story. I came across his channel, was just like, who is this lunatic? And the more I watched him, the more I watched him, I was like, wow, this lunatic's so entertaining.
It's so much fun.
I just love watching him on the weekend. It's you never know what the hell's going to happen, and that's what I love about it. Unpredictability is it's exciting. It's exciting.
He's such a kind person too. I like him a lot.
Absolutely. His heart is in the right place. It's just, you know, I think we all kind of go through this kind of stuff. People judge on the outside of the book, and people take first impressions so much to the meaning of how they're going to look at you forever. And I think, you know, we all deal with it. You know, have you had experiences of that where people judge you think you're something else, and then you have to work really hard to, you know, get people to see, hang on a minute, I'm not this thing that you think.
Well, yeah, I think that rings true a lot with my medical situation too. I won't get into detail about what the issues are, but I'll say that, you know, it does affect my life quite a bit, even though you see me up here and everything's good. And there's many hours and certain days where I'm not able to jump online like I wish. So I think sometimes the perception is that I'm just not present, or I'm not there to see the people I enjoy watching. But it's deeper than that. You know, it's not even it's not that I don't want to be there. It's just it's literally personal stuff, you know. And I think that in other communities that I've seen as well, if I don't know, you must get this too, but you know, I'm Canadian, and sometimes they always say, "Oh, you're a nice Canadian. You're not allowed to be irritated or whatever." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, I can be irritated sometimes. Yeah, exactly. I'm the nice Canadian. No, well, yeah, but I'm just as a person, but doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean I don't get irritated or something. But
see, if I was you, my comeback would be, I'm not Canadian, I'm French Canadian, and then see where they go. I'm sure it'd be down a completely different path.
I just switched to French. That's all. Yeah. But I think, you know, sometimes when if there's a misunderstanding, I've seen that a lot for myself. I don't know if it's sometimes a difference in the way we speak where I'm from, or if it's a language barrier or whatever, but there are sometimes misunderstandings, and if the person has misunderstanding, then they have a misconception or misperception of who I am as a person. I'm always like, well, just reach out to me. You know, just people don't tend to do that, I guess, as much to find out, you know, like, are you really upset with me or not, or whatever? Or I'm like, no, not at all. It wasn't even in my mind. You know, that's the misperception I think that I notice, is when there's a misunderstanding somehow in a conversation, and the person walks away thinking that I have some kind of judgment or some kind of thought in mind, and I don't, you know. So that I have seen.
We all have shit going on, and you know, you touch on medical stuff too, and like, you know, I do this show every day, and I do it to get away from the medical stuff, because the light comes on here and it's showtime. I'm an entertainer. I've always been an entertainer. So I had an important phone call with my doctor yesterday with some really heavy stuff that's going on at the moment. And they were like, "Oh, you probably should take some time away." And it was like, I can't, because if I take that part out of my life, then what have I got? Like, this is the moment the lights go on. It's like, it's showtime, man. And this is where like I live for. So, you know, I that's how I cope. And we all have different coping mechanisms, and you know, self-care is really important too. It's something I try and promote on this channel by talking about mental health and well-being, because you can't always be on for people.
No.
And I think the more we talk about this stuff, the more we don't have these perceptions of, are you ignoring me? Have I done something wrong? It's like, no, just people have shit, man. And
and that's exactly it. You know, and in terms of coping mechanism, for me in the past, I used to burn myself out. If the phone would ring, somebody would need something, I'd be off. And yeah, sure, I'm on it. Let's go. I'm there to help you. I'm there to help you. I'm there to help you. And then probably my issues really ended up starting to become deeper, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And that's when I really noticed, well, now I'm the one that needs some assistance or some just company or something. And there's probably about 2 or 3 people that were really there for me. And thank God for that, because when you talk about, I'm sorry, I'm searching for the words also in my mind. So if I'm hesitating, that's another.
You can say it in French if you want.
It's easier. Yeah, it would actually be easier for me to say it in French and then translate after.
Please do. I've wanted to hear you speak French the whole time that I've known you.
Oh,
let's do it. And if you're watching on the replay, you can put the subtitles on. Maybe they'll decode them. I don't know. I can answer. Yeah, feel free to answer in French. I would love it. No pressure.
What's tricky about the French is that the Quebec French is c'est vraiment différent. It's completely different than le français de France. You know, we have this broken up franglais, we say, It's French and English mixed together. It's like Franglish.
Like Spanglish kind of thing.
They literally put that in the tourist pamphlet in my hometown where I grew
Really?
up. They did. They said the local language is a mix of French and English together. In a sentence, you'll have English and French. So I don't know what the subtitles end up looking like for that, but you touched on the mental health, and like I think for when you're struggling with medical issues, I think it's easy to fall into a depression too. Because if it's chronic, especially, or if there's something going on, then the morale gets low, and I don't know. I think for the last 5 years, I'm going to really open up. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to get emotional. Jeez.
It happens on this show.
This is a surprise. Well, I couldn't pick up the guitar for a little while. It made me sad.
Yeah.
I guess it's because I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. I'm very spiritual. My spirit wanted to go and move and do things and stuff, but I was very limited with what I could do for a while. And it just ended up becoming like every time I listened to a song or picked up the guitar, I would just feel a certain kind of sadness come. Que ça me manquait, ça me manque. It's like you miss it, you want to do it, but you can't right now. So, and in retrospect, I could have maybe worked through that a little more and created some awesome songs from it. But I think that I had to allow myself that time to process. Like I said, it just took a little longer this time. So.
Yeah, it's hard because, we opened today with the question, what does music mean to you? And so many people say it means so much. And it's like breathing for us as musicians. And then when you can't breathe because it hurts, but at the same time you're yearning for it,
it's very confusing.
Yeah. And we are already as living meat bags full of blood, very, very emotionally controlled by emotions, and everything is so emotional that it continues to pile on the anxiety and the pressure and the self-doubt and all this kind of stuff. And again, like the thing is, being trans and myself coming out, the first website I came across on the internet to do with trans things, and it's still around, I think. It's called you'renotalone.com. And it's interesting because, like, for so long that meant so much to me. Like, I felt like, oh my God, there's other people like that. But it has such a broader scale, I think, because talking about these kind of things, like, dealing with depression and anxiety, we're all doing it. Like, from the most richest, loudest person on the planet with the biggest personality to the smallest person who everybody steps on every day. Everybody is facing it. And the sooner we come to this realization that how similar we all are, go figure, the better it is. Was there a moment when what was that moment when you were able to pick up the guitar again? Was there a moment that you were able to do it?
Yes, it was this year, probably in about the month of May. Well, no, I picked up the guitar probably since January, but I was working part-time. Part-time. I was working a certain amount of hours per week trying to wait on the next surgery, and I ended up, by the doctor's advice, said, no, right now you need to take a break. So I did. And that's when I hopped onto YouTube. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm feeling kind of like there were a couple of years where I didn't really want to see anyone. However, now I'm stuck at home and I want to see people, but I can't really see people. So I jumped online thinking, I have this YouTube channel sitting there for so many years. I should start working on that now that I have the time to do it. And that's how I got back into it. And then I started meeting people and getting introduced to other people. And I met some really awesome people that'll probably end up being friends for life, And that's basically what I loved about it. It's like what you said. I just need to find the balance, because back then I used to overdo it, I guess. And now I don't. I'm like, I really need to take care of myself first. And that's why I don't log on unless I am feeling okay to do it, or unless I've made a previous engagement, then I'll definitely make an effort to be there. But
And hey, as I said to you at the beginning of this interview, or the other day possibly, what you tell me gives me an opportunity to expand on things. So we talk
Sure.
about mental health and all this kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
when you're dealing with surgeries, which you have been, I've dealt with some surgeries too. It's this added layer on top too, where not only is your brain going and all that stuff, then there's the physicality of like, recovery is such a long time, and
Yeah.
there's the fear of, am I going to be back to this strength again?
Right.
I know you recently had a surgery. I'm pretty sure I'm correct there.
Yeah.
Has that gone well? Are you like on a road to recovery? Are you going to need more of this stuff, or is that in the rear view?
It's pending.
Right.
I'm hoping that I won't need more, but I still have a follow-up to do. It was just recent, and like, I don't mind saying it. I have a condition that affects the nerves, but which complicates things, and they had to go in my leg and fix the bone, so I can't really get around very well. I'm doing better now, but it's hobbling and crutches and rolling in a walker.
So
But,
just to be clear, no mosh pits.
no, I would love that, but I think it would be kind of challenging with a wheelchair or walker or something. But I don't know. It could be interesting too. I don't know.
Maybe you would own the mosh pit. So I don't think anybody's going to come in and try and knock you out of your chair. Maybe so.
Well, I'm on the road to recovery. I just don't know, considering the nerve disease, how because that's chronic. So we have a lot of follow-ups to do. And,
well, I know for myself and everybody here, we hope that continues to go, because we want to hear you make more music, and it's so good to see. We've had brief discussions, and to see your channel get clips, and you're starting to come back, and it's okay, because I don't know how many people 91 people I've interviewed on this show, and nearly every person I've interviewed has had those moments of space where they've had to step away from music, but you come back to it. You never lose that. So, and thankfully you're still making it. And that's the most important thing, that you're still here and fighting, because it's hard to keep fighting sometimes.
It's tough, but I think that's why what you were saying earlier about your experience, encountering other people and how they are sometimes. Everybody's going through their shit, like you said, but I think people forget. We're in such a fast-paced world that people forget we need to have compassion and understanding for each other. Ask a person. If I think you've responded to me in a way, instead of going, well, she's a bitch or something, you can say, is everything okay? What's going on in your life? You don't have to tell me everything, but are you all right? Whereas I don't find people do a lot of that anymore.
No, because
there are people, but
this really sums up what you're saying, because we have all these days Wear Purple Day, and we actually have a day in our calendar called Are You OK Day. Like, we have so little time in our life that we have to have one day for it. It's like, it should be every fucking day.
Every day,
Like,
yes.
You know, like people say it all the time. I think it's interesting, isn't it? You see people and they say, hi, how are you? And no one gives a fuck. They're not really asking how you are. They're just saying hi. Like, if somebody actually really cared, you'd get a response because, you know, responses are normally, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. But if you turn around to someone and go, I'm shit, I'm dealing with this really, like, people go, what's going on?
I tried that once when I was working in the bar, I was bartender back in my 20s. I tried that once. I had this, you know, it's just like you said. How are you? Do you really mean that? You really want to know? Because I had a really shitty day today. Do you want to really know about it? This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And they're like, can I just order something, please?
Crazy person. Oh my God. They're actually telling me how they feel. I can't deal with it. I need to
God
go.
forbid somebody's honest. Gee.
They're taking up my time. I need to be on Amazon and buy something. That's the world we live in. I'm going to play a song, and I think it's really appropriate for what we've been talking about. This is called Breathe Without Pain.
Yeah.
Segue. I'm the segue queen.
You're awesome.
So, do you want to tell us? You know, we'll talk about it after we play it. So, this is on your Reverb Nation, folks. As always, links are in the description to all of Robyn's stuff. So do it. But let's play this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. This is "Breathe Without Pain." Let me just cue it up and try and be professional. Are we good? All right, we're good. All right, let's play this, and we'll be right back shortly, guys. Let's do it. Boom.
Baby, you've done a bad mistake.
In the fields, that one.
Yeah.
I wish every day. Uh, yeah, and you know the beauty of music is somebody could take that song as a totally different meaning. It's totally different.
Oh,
You could take that as a get out of my life, you asshole lover. Or you could take that as I took it as fucking. I'm so sick of this pain, man. It's
yeah.
just get away. But beautiful song. So where was it? Was this
Thank you.
recorded in a studio? Where was this created?
This was recorded in a private studio,
Yep.
and another very talented musician, but he's asked me not to share his name online. He said, "It's these are the songs we created together for the shows that we did. It was for that one show that we did. I wrote the song, I wrote the chords, but the musical production in the recording, credit goes to him, but he's asked to remain anonymous." But very, very talented person, and that song does definitely mean a lot to me. It's basically it says everything that I was going through at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it. I'm feeling you, sister. Yeah. So you're back now. You're on YouTube. You're making music. You're performing again. You're performing even on YouTube. And from what our brief conversations, you're starting to like trying to build up some gear to even do all this stuff because even just live streaming, it takes like stuff. You just can't materialize things and just do it. Unfortunately, you can do it cheaply, of course. Do you have? I know you're doing live streams on your channel as well. So what are you doing in your live streams?
Oh Lord.
You're doing it for the Lord.
It's a work in progress.
Isn't everything a work in progress? As Pete Johns once sung, because we're all just a work in progress. Sorry, I've put that in people's heads. It's true.
I still have the layout to work out. I still have the format. I still have a lot of things to work out. Over the summer, I didn't have the equipment that I needed, so I had to figure that out first. That took several weeks, a couple months, and also working on trying to get the songs that I have remaining recorded. Like that song "Breathe Without Pain," it was recorded that time. He does contract work and everything. His name is in the yeah. C'est écrit dans le dans la description, anyway.
You look like you're getting in a big way too. You've even got shorts on here as well.
Working on it.
It's what do you think of the experience of shorts at the moment? I'm loving shorts. They've actually really taken my channel to so many more views. Do you like the idea of doing these little shorts?
I think they're great. I think that I just had a writer's block, like I'm just in a moment where I'm just trying to get the songs that I have here that are not laid on, that the tracks aren't laid down, that I need to get that done first. And also the ones that I have that are recorded need to have videos put to them. So, that's what I've been working on. So with the live streams, I kind of just do a campfire live stream. I like the idea of just hanging out with people and chatting with them and putting up a campfire to relax with and just kind of chill, relax and chill. And
it looks like you're doing like some songwriting videos as well. So are you actually going to do more of those? They're hard, those.
Well, my way of songwriting is so unorthodox. I guess it's just completely. I guess I'm just being genuine. I'm just showing the people. Well, you asked me how I write my songs. This is how I do it. It's not. There's no step-by-step process, like there would be on a collaboration, where there's an actual structure to the creating side of it. I just kind of go along with my feelings and try to find chords that go along with that. If I have a melody in my mind, or vice versa, if I have a riff already that I like, then I'll start playing around with it and add lyrics to it.
So I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you've probably got a few songs under your belt, or ideas or stuff. Is there a roadmap to recording some stuff? I mean, I don't know if you still have people around you to record stuff. Is there do you plan on releasing an album or an EP or something like that? Is this something that's circulating in your mind?
Absolutely. I just have to figure out how. I have to make my plan, is basically what's happening right now. So the plan is not set in stone. So I'm just kind of dancing around in the dark at the moment, trying to fumble and figure out what my vision is for the next little while.
But because it's becoming increasingly easier to record from home with the amount of gear that is coming out, that the prices are so cheap. I mean, you have a good microphone there. I'm assuming that you have an audio interface. I know you have a computer because you're talking to me right now on it. So,
yeah.
I mean, have you looked into doing, getting an interface, getting something like, I don't know what kind of computer you have, if GarageBand or Reaper or any of these things? Have you looked into it?
Absolutely. I use BandLab actually to record.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that. I love that app. I find it simple. It's easy to understand. And for someone like me that is not very adept at tech things and recording studio equipment, there's a lot less to learn in terms of functions and things. So I use that. I lay down the track and I put the sound that I like to it. And I've done a few on my own already. That the Beware song, I did that myself. The only ones that I did as a collaboration, like the Breathe Without Pain, he said, we're just your musicians. He said, it's Robyn Cheynne, this is the show, and he said we're just doing this as a favor. These are guys I grew up with, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's why he doesn't mind, doing the tracks and stuff like that, because he has his own band and his own projects and things going on, and he's like, well, we'll just do this and just put your name up, because it's not like a commitment, So for myself, I'm learning in the last 3-4 months, minus the time that I had for recovery for surgery. I have been learning how to record it at home on my own, just through condenser mic and BandLab and plugging it directly in. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not trying to put pressure on you or anything like that to say, get something out. I
really want to.
I hate coming across like that because, hey, we've discussed this in the show today. People have to work at their own pace. And it's like Kim Harden-Hudson here, who's in the chat today. We love her music, but she only releases very sparse songs, maybe one or a year or so. But when it comes out, it's fucking
fabulous.
It's awesome. I remember Hippie on one of Hippie's shows one day. He was like, boom, Kim, you got to get more songs out, boom, the community wants it. And it's like, no, dude, no. Let her work at her own pace. When you start forcing people to be creative, that's when the stuff gets watered down.
I think people get excited. That's what happens. That there was one song on my page that I put out because I was just like, I just want to get out. And I put it out there, and now, I look back on it and I'm like, well, maybe I should have worked on it a little bit longer, instead of posting it right away, because you get excited with it, right? And then it's the excitement, and then you maybe you don't feel pressured to get it out, but you feel excited about it and you can't wait. It's like Christmas morning with the presents. You want to be able to be
it's like
to share it, but
It is. You want to get it done, and you want to get to the end, and then you get to the end, and then you're all, oh, really? Now I
Should have made it last longer.
now I have to do it again. Damn. Now I'm empty. Cold Acres put in the chat here. If I could poach any singer from these communities to sing in my band, it would be Robyn.
Oh, that's such a nice compliment. Thank you.
Yeah,
Cold Acre.
absolutely. I mean, you have a killer voice. It's the first thing that I was blown away by your voice. So, you're a really, really, really talented singer. So never forget that. And guys, we're very lucky today because we're not going to end on another produced song. We're actually going to end today with a live performance. We're going to do our best to make it happen. Because we can do our best, and if the sound quality isn't perfect, it doesn't matter because it's the performance that it's all about, right? So because we've had to do this kind of on the fly. So what have we got? We've got 15 minutes here left. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to ask you: are there any artists, independent artists, who you've kind of seen around? Someone who you really dig that people might not know about that you'd like to say, have you heard this person? Even if it's only one. Is there anyone that pops in your mind? If it's not on YouTube, it's just something that you hear that you think is awesome that maybe nobody's heard of.
Her name is Justine Giles.
Do you know how
Giles, Giles. I do not know if she has a YouTube channel, though. I should have looked it up before.
I think she does. Is this her?
She must.
Another Chance.
Yeah, that is her.
Songs. Yep, that's her channel.
Is that her?
Another.
Oh my goodness, my eyes. I have terrible eyes too. If it's Justine Giles, so she's Canadian as well. That must be, yes, that's her.
That's her.
Has to be. She changed her look a little bit.
She's from Calgary, yeah?
Yeah. That's her. Yes, absolutely. Awesome. We shared a stage together a few years back, and ever since I met her, I think that she's just a phenomenal artist, not just singer, but songwriter and performer, and she's just a lovely person too. She has it all. It's just amazing.
Okay, so a
female artist.
You know where to go, folks. Go and sub her up. Go listen to her stuff. This is a new question I've added to the show now, which is going to be at the end to add some shine to somebody else before the show ends. I think it's a good idea to do that because we all should be paying forward. All of us should be paying forward everything that comes our way. In my opinion. Absolutely. I'm going to let everybody know here today to do all the stuff down the bottom. All of your links are down in the description. So make sure you go and check out all of Robyn's stuff. She's on Reverb Nation. She's even got a PayPal. So if you really like her, go send her some money. I even put that in the description as well because, hey, so cool. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. This is a performance, whatever. I'm going to hit you up with the last question, which we'll do now, and then we'll go out and play some music. So I ask this to everybody who comes on the show. So if somebody was considering becoming creative, when would you suggest that they start?
If somebody was considering becoming creative?
Yeah, making some music, doing something.
As soon as possible. Aussitôt possible. Maintenant, live in the now. Live in the moment present. That is the best.
Absolutely.
Just don't wait. Don't wait. If you have the feeling to do it, just go for it. That's what I say.
Thank you so much. It's not a quick trick question. It's always the same answer. It's loaded.
Is it really?
It's loaded. I always just want people to say, now, do it now. or whenever you're ready to do it. Yeah. I had one person on here who said I was a dickhead for that question. Whatever.
Nah.
So if you want to try and grab your guitar and flick your mic and do all that stuff, I'll put the camera on me so you can do that. And I'm going to remind everybody here, I'll just put you on mute as well so we're not hearing you change over. I can see you on Zooms what you're doing, so you're getting ready. I'm going to remind people who are here with us in the chat what is happening here on the channel going forward. So tomorrow, my friends, if you are a member here on the channel, Wart Warrior, we are we are doing our sometimes monthly, kind of bit over the whenever. We are doing our special quiz show. It is the quiz part 2. There it is, the Wart Warrior quiz. Can I do it there? Oh, there it is. The Wart Warrior quiz number 2. So we're doing this tomorrow. You have to be a Wart Warrior. Thanks, Thomas, for putting the link. So if you join for $1 a month, you get to join us. We've got 50 seats available, 50 questions about music, and you can come along and join the quiz. And there's a cash prize for the winner. So that's pretty exciting. Also, I can let you know, on the weekend, I'm doing a live performance as usual for the opening hour, or if I can find it. Here it is. So I'm doing a live performance on the weekend as well, singing some songs from my original First Dread Circus album. There you go. So that is happening. And I can get rid of that now and come back here. And I think I can see Robyn's ready. We're going to go out with maybe a song or two. Depends on how long she goes, because we've got about 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes. So I want to thank you all for being here as well. Thank you so much for being here today and always supporting the channel. It's really kind of you. I love you lots. Let's bring Robyn back in here and see if she's got some sound. How you going?
I think I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit low. Something's not connected, right? The microphone.
Is it because we moved it back?
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, because you're going to sing loud too. So, all right, let's have some music. Good luck. I'll try and write all the meters and stuff and see if we can get a decent sound. So, let's do it.
All right. This is called The Devil's Grind.
Hang on.
You lost your way, the devil hides behind a smile. The real devil is the monster like everyone thinks. Oh no. They lost their way in the devil's play. I'm the boy who lost the day. It's a mist that chokes you in your breath. In the devil's grind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They lost their shine in the devil's grind. There were those who lost their mind. Yeah. Devils will whisper and make you cry when you're just doing your best. It's a mist that chokes you in your breath. In the devil's grind. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Devil's grind. They lost their shine in the devil's grind. There were ones who lost their mind. In the devil's grind.
That was badass, as Kim has put here in the chat. A lot of love for you, a lot of love. We'll end here, I think. I think we one song, beautiful, fantastic job. It sounded great too. Lots of applause in the chat. And you know what, folks? Go over, if you're not subbed to Robyn, go over, give her some love. Add her, go check out her music. She's amazing. You know, you can't go wrong. And if you're lucky and you're awake or whatever time of the day it is on the weekend, check out Camp G May. He was on the show too. Go and check out his channel because she's regularly performing over there on, is it Saturday night your time? Yeah, it's Saturday. So go over there. And she's over there performing there. And it's always a pleasure to hear her perform. And go and subscribe to her channel. Thank you so much for coming on the show. See, it wasn't that hard, was it? It went really quick.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And there's Robyn's YouTube. It's in the chat, guys. Click on it, do the clicks and stuff. Thomas subbed. Get subbed. Everyone get subbed. Good stuff. Hang on here at the end. So when the show ends, we can keep talking for a little bit, please. And anything you want to say to everybody before we go and get out of here?
I just want to say thank everybody. Thank you to everybody for being here. C'était vraiment, vraiment cool. Puis je suis vraiment contente. I'm so very happy to see all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here for me.
Thank you so
You
much.
all rock too.
All right, guys, you're going to
Thanks, Starr.
get automatically dumped over to Pete John. So if you've got your auto play set on YouTube, it'll send you straight over to Pete. Or if not, it'll come up after the show ends, and you can click on go over and watch Pete. He's doing a Q&A, and then we got Ron Ward doing whatever Ron Ward does on his channel. Who knows what he's doing this today? Remember, folks, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. And we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.